DJ Vanessa with some Christmas music to kick us off here on the Christmas Eve edition of the Todd Veinotte Show. It's our last show of 2025, and what a year it has been. And it was another cold start. My goodness, this morning, minus 14 at my house when I got up this morning. Allister Aalders, our meteorologist, says that we're looking at about minus 5 today. But the wind out there, and I was out about an hour ago, and making it feel more like minus 10 or even lower. Tomorrow, of course, is the big day, right? Christmas Day. You're going to wake up with pretty much the same sky that we have today, I think. Looks like we're going to have a cloudy day to start. Now, we're going to see some snow on Christmas Day, but not until the afternoon. And Allister thinks that we're going to see somewhere between 2, maybe 5 centimeters of snow and a high tomorrow around minus 4. So we're going to get a little bit of that light, fluffy stuff just to make everything white, and minus 4, so it won't be too cold to go out for that either pre- or post-turkey walk, right? You know what I'm talking about. You go to that Christmas dinner, you eat too much, and you need to go for a walk to just kind of settle things down. Or if you're like me, you say, I'm going to go for a walk, and then you see the couch, and then you hit the couch, and all of the turkey, the magic turkey workings that make you sleepy, that hits the couch, and that's usually about it for me. But we're going to try and change that, aren't we? Boxing Day is looking like the sun's going to return, at least for a bit. We're going to see mixes on the cloud, and a chance of some flurries mixing in there as well, and a high of minus 5. And then a fair but a chilly weekend. So I know that most of you are probably already off. Those that are working today are probably working a shorter shift than usual. Others are working right through and getting the last-minute stuff together, getting all of the paraphernalia out and organized and ready for tomorrow. It is a busy time of the year. There's still news happening, though, right, folks? We predicted that there would be a lump of coal in our collective stockings just before Christmas, and lo and behold, there it is. The utility, that being Halifax Water, has put in its request for a rate increase. If you remember last week, the energy regulator in Nova Scotia said no to their 36% increase, told them to take their homework back and redo it and resubmit it before Christmas, at least before the end of the week. And they did that yesterday. Now, the good news is it's down from 36%. The bad news is that it's 17.6%. That's still a significant jump, isn't it? The utility saying that it took out a bunch of things to lower that rate. It took out some of its debt recovery and the ability to put the utility into what they're calling a better financial situation. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And also adjusted their debt and depreciation on the adjustment, so they were able to find that amount of savings in their ask for a rate increase. The mayor, very quick again to respond, saying no, too much, and is continuing to push forward with his call for an audit to be done of Halifax Water. He had suggested when he was in here with us last Friday that would be done by either or both of the cities and the province's auditors general. I haven't heard if that's moving forward or not yet. Now, to their credit, the utility said that they would welcome such an audit and would be would be helpful for them to help the auditors get through their financials. So that was the first lump of coal that came out of the news yesterday. And then, of course, we also saw some reporting from the CBC yesterday, learning more about the cyber attack on Nova Scotia Power. Now, the CBC reporting that documents filed as part of the UERB, or whatever it's called now, is investigation into the cyber attack. We've got a better idea of the timeline, still not anything really concrete. And the biggest concern that I have reading this story and some of the documents that have been filed by Nova Scotia Power as part of this ask is the amount of redacted documents that are handed over. How can a utility regulator do a proper investigation into something if a good chunk of the documents have black lines through them? Who gets to hold the marker when things get redacted? I understand the need for redacting some things, right? They don't want to tip their hand of any corporate secrets. They don't want to invade the privacy of individuals involved. I understand that. But does the utility get the say on who's using the big black marker to strike out paragraphs of stuff? Shouldn't that be done by a third party? Shouldn't that be done by somebody that, is versed in privacy law and doesn't have a stake in the whole situation? Just saying. Now, apparently, the attack happened March 19th. The utility didn't know until April 25th. Told us about the attack on April 28th, at least it was announced through Emera. Then they told us in early May that some of our personal data may have been compromised. And then it was June before they told us that many more people were impacted than first thought. Not a lot of new information there, but it certainly begs the question of if this attack happened on the 19th of March and it was well over a month later until they noticed. Wonders what kind of protocols were in place for security. And much of the response to the attack has been, as I mentioned before, redacted. And details on why they held on to SIN numbers of people for so long. And very few details of the money that the utility owes or is alleged to owe to its contractors was included in that document. So I think it's fair for me to say another lump of coal on the last remaining hours as we head into the Christmas season. Speaking of the Christmas season, have you got your Christmas shopping done yet? I finished mine yesterday, and with my annual visit to the grocery store pre-Christmas, and I went in there and I was telling myself as I was sitting in my vehicle at the store parking lot once I found a place to park that, okay, patience, Dan. It's Christmas. Patience, right? So I thought I was in the right headspace when I walked through the doors, and to be fair, it was okay. It wasn't as bad as I had anticipated. It wasn't as bad as I have experienced at this time of the year in previous years. Now, that doesn't mean that it wasn't crazy before I got there and wasn't crazy after I got there. I got there about mid-afternoon. The store was well-staffed. The shelves were well-stocked. There wasn't a lot of things missing. The one thing I did notice a big run on yesterday, and there was actually, it was funny, was sour cream and the chip dips were barren. And there was one of the store workers, God bless him, I guess went into the back to get a cardboard box of I think it was chip dip, and he opened it up and it was like vultures. They heard the box open and it was like, okay, what kind of chip dip is it? Like the guy couldn't even get them on. He was handing them out to the people that were standing there, not getting them on the shelves. So I guess chip dip was a premium commodity. I managed to wander over to the superstore this morning for research purposes, of course, and took a look around, and they were fully stocked. So I don't know if it was just that one store or there was a big rush on it there just before I got on it or whatever, but it appears that the most wanted item yesterday at the Sobeys in Clayton Park was chip dip and sour cream. Anyway, I hope that you got your Christmas shopping done. If you're a last-minute person, more power to you. We heard earlier this week that the leader of the Liberal Party and former Premier of Nova Scotia, Ian Rankin, is a last-minute shopper. He likes the pressure, right? We talked about this yesterday. It's that some people need to have that a little extra motivation, maybe kick in the backside to make those final decisions, right? When you're doing the lead up to Christmas, it's like, oh, that'd be nice, and that person would like that, but it's like, well, maybe I'll find something else, or maybe I'll wait till it goes on sale. When you get down to today, there is no tomorrow. So it's grab and go, as they say. So for those of you that are planning to do your last minute shop today, good luck. The traffic report I'm looking out the window right now is fairly light. The drive in this morning was wonderful. Can you imagine if it was like that every day? Maybe I would be a little less agitated. But it is sure to pick up. Now, a word of warning that some stores are closing early today. Some area shops are shutting down early to give their staff time to get home for Christmas Eve and that kind of stuff. So you might want to check ahead before you go. And again, best of luck to you. It's the last, as I mentioned, our last show of the year of 2025, and Vanessa and I were chatting before we came on the air, and Vanessa said, well, you know what, Dan, we should probably clean out the prize cabinet for 2025. And so we dug through there, and lo and behold, we came up with, was it a couple pair of tickets that we came up with? 2 sets of 2, right? Good. So we found 2 sets of 2 Moosehead tickets that were on the bottom of the drawer, but it's one of the games I think will be one of the best games of the year. And that is all the way on January the 3rd. So it won't be until the new year, but the Moncton Wildcats are coming to town on January 3rd. It's a 6:30 start. Get that one into your calendars, folks, if you're planning to go to the game. We know the Moncton Wildcats have been the cream of at least the conference crop as of late. So a good contest for the Moose as they get back. Of course, they get back onto the ice on the 28th as they host the Regiment. And then there's a couple of games on the 30th and 31st against Cape Breton. And then a bit of a break for New Year's. And then on the 3rd, they're back at it to face those cross-provincial rival Moncton Wildcats. And we have 2 sets of 2 tickets to give away. If you need a last-minute stocking stuffer, here you go. 902-405-6000. 1-877-801-8255. Let's take callers number 8 and caller number 10. 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. Best of luck. 2 pairs of tickets to give away, and it would look real nice poking out of the top of somebody's stocking when they open that tomorrow. And you can go on us. Just a very quick reminder, today we're going to do things a little bit different as it is Christmas Eve. We're going to connect up with the jolly old elf himself. Santa Claus will be joining the show after 11 o'clock today. I just took a quick look at the tracker site, and he was somewhere near the Philippines. So he's traveling. He's working. But he's agreed to join us for as long as he can at 11 o'clock today. So if you would like to have a chat with Santa, if maybe you want to get a last-minute request in for your Christmas list, or maybe you have some youngsters that are kicking around the house this morning that are driving you bonkers and you want them to have a bit of a distraction, then this is a perfect opportunity to do so. And you can use the Santa's watching excuse today, right? And we hope that to hear from some young folks out there. So if your kids are around or you want to talk to Santa, we're going to do that after 11 o'clock today. And then, of course, as is tradition here on the Todd Veinotte Show, we'll open up the phone lines and take your Christmas greetings. If you want to send a long-distance dedication, as Casey Kasem used to say, or a Christmas greeting to friends and family, or maybe those that are no longer with us, an opportunity to do so as well as part of the open hour. We're going to do it for 2 hours today. So, Nicole, one of our longtime callers, raised an interesting point, something I'd not thought about. And I've got 4 full days off starting tomorrow. Wow, right? And not a lot of things on the to watch list. So maybe if you're as kind as you can be to give me a idea of what your favorite Christmas movies are, that might be something you want to talk about during our open hour today as well. An action-packed show here to end the year, and we're going to take our first break on the program. When we come back, a conversation with the public education curriculum specialist and fire prevention with Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency. That's Briana MacLellan. She's going to give us some tips to keep our homes safe during the holiday season, and that's going to happen right after this set of commercials. You're listening to the Todd Veinotte Show. I'm Dan Ahlstrand. We're back in minutes. It's a song, I think it's called By the Fireplace. It has a kind of a Snoopy, Christmassy kind of feel to it, right? I feel like I'm either watching Linus play the piano or I'm in a smoky 1970s lounge somewhere with a lounge singer sitting up there. Anyway, a little bit of festive music to carry us through our last show of 2025. And before we get to our fire safety segment, Vanessa has been busily working the phones and has a couple of people that just got some last-minute stocking stuffers.
Yes,
Who are the winners, Vanessa?
Yeah, the winners are Bill Strait and Joanne Eller.
Congratulations, and enjoy the game. The Wildcats is always a good night. There's usually a contingent of Wildcat fans that travel to see that game, and it's always a lot of fun at Scotiabank Centre, and the place will be, let's just say, rocking. It's a time of year where we do things that are a bit out of the ordinary, right? Our houses are decorated. We've got those big blow-up things on our front yards. We've got our patios and our decks that are full of Christmas lights and Christmas decorations, and of course out of our routines and maybe doing things a little bit different than we usually do. And it is a wonderful time of the year. Everybody gets a chance to spend some time with friends and family, but it can also, if we're not really careful, can turn into a much more tragic and disastrous time of the year if we're not smart when it comes to fire safety. So we thought it important to give us a little bit of a reminder as we get off and enjoy the holidays. And we're always pleased to welcome our next guest to the show. Public, easy for me to say, I'm already on vacation. Public education curriculum specialist and with fire prevention at Halifax Regional Fire and Emergency. That's Briana MacLellan. Briana, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great, thank you.
I'm glad you're able to spend some time with us. You all set for the holidays?
Almost. I have a few little things to check off the list after work today, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You're a last-minute shopper, are you?
Yeah, the pressure kind of helps, you know?
Briana, I know that, as I mentioned in the preamble, that people tend to decorate and do kinds of things particularly with lights and with decorations at this time of the year, and not normally something we do all year round, and that can create a bit of a problem when it comes to electrical outlets and electrical fire safety. What's the best thing to keep in mind as we move into the Christmas season?
Yeah, so the lights really make it festive and, make our homes cozy and our neighborhoods really cheerful. But there's a couple of things to think about when we're, decorating with these lights. So the first thing would be to make sure that we're using lights that have been safety tested. So looking for marks like that have showing that they've been safety tested. So ETL, CSA, those types of little stamps of approval show us that, they've went through the proper testing to make sure that they don't risk a fire hazard. Looking at your cords and things for damage, loose connections, any fraying or, cuts in the wires. If you see any of those, discontinue the use immediately. Those types of things before you put them up, making sure you're putting your lights up with clips, not staples or nails, those types of things. And using timers also that have been safety tested and turning off your lights before you go to bed. And the other specifics would be looking at the instructions that come with them. So you always want to follow the manufacturer's instructions to see, for example, how many lights can be stringed together. All of that would be right in those instructions, as well as not overloading electrical outlets or misusing extension cords. So extension cords should not be daisy chained, so you shouldn't have 3 or 4 connected to one another. We don't want anything with a heating element plugged in, like a space heater, or even something like a coffee machine really shouldn't be in an extension cord. That just takes away that fire risk.
Briana, also this time of the year, people may venture to their fireplaces, right? Because they know the Yule log is part of tradition. In fact, I was in line at Sobeys yesterday, and there was a couple that were behind me that were looking for those chimney sweeping logs because they were going to start their fireplace for the first time of the year on Christmas Eve. Obviously, some risk with that as well.
Yeah, so when people are getting ready to light their fire in their wood-burning appliances, we highly recommend that before you do so, you have a professional come in and do an inspection of it as well as a cleaning. They are the professionals. They know exactly what they're looking for. They can see anything that could go wrong. So having that done yearly is really, really important. And then making sure that you are burning dry, seasoned wood. That's going to prevent creosote from building up inside of your chimney, which could lead to a chimney fire. Not putting in wrapping paper or, cardboard boxes that presents were in, or at the end of, Christmas, don't throw your Christmas tree in there. So doing that. And then another really, really important tip when it comes to your fireplace is making sure that you're disposing of the ashes properly.
Right.
Those ashes stay really, really hot in those embers, and they can burn for days. So put them into like a tight-fitting metal container with a lid. Take that container, put it outside, away from anything that can burn. So don't stick it on your deck. Don't put it next to your house or your wood pile, and let it cool down. And don't dispose of it until it's completely cooled.
Briana, there may be some gifts under the trees this year that come with these lithium-ion batteries and charging, and we've heard some real horror stories about these things. Any tips for those that may receive some new gadgets this year?
Yeah, so I'm sure there's going to be lots of gadgets with lithium-ion batteries in them under the tree this year for people, and we really, really want people to use them safely. So for one, if you are going to have them under your tree, make sure that the boxes are away from heat sources. They're away from pets that could, be sniffing around. Pets, are curious about the presents. If they get into their paws, into their mouth, if they were to chomp down on those batteries, that could pose as a fire threat. Once those gifts are opened, make sure they're being charged properly on a flat, hard surface, never on a bed or on a pillow. Anything like that, it's kind of like giving these batteries a great big hug and they can't breathe.
Right.
So they need to have, lots of airflow, and don't leave them unattended, especially bigger types of these batteries like e-scooters, e-bikes, power tools. Those pack a lot of power in them. And, if something goes wrong while charging or if they overheat, they can spark, catch fire, even explode in some situations. So just keep a watchful eye. And if you notice any damage, any weird smells, sparking, unusual, hissing sounds, just make sure you stop using them.
The kitchen obviously will be a busy place for many over the next couple of days. Any tips to keep us safe in the kitchen?
Yeah, so the kitchen is one of the areas where we see the most fires. So we really advocate that people are picking a designated cook for the kitchen, especially when you're using the stovetop. So even if you need to step away for a second to go to the washroom, to answer a door as guests arrive, have someone take your place. If you can't have someone step in for you, turn off the stovetop. It only takes a second for things to get out of control. And fire spreads really, really fast. So have that designated person in the kitchen. And when you're in the kitchen, also have a tight-fitting lid to your pot or your pan that you're using. That way, if anything starts to, catch on fire, and if it's safe for you, you're going to put that tight-fitting lid on top. That's going to stop the fire because it's going to cut off that air supply, and that's what fire needs. It needs oxygen to grow. Once that lid's on there, you would turn off the heat or turn off the power to the burner. Keep that lid on there so the smoke doesn't, escape and set off your smoke alarm. And once it's cool, you could take it off and remove it. But yeah, you need designated cook, the tight-fitting lid, and never, ever throw water on a grease fire. Okay, a lot of people think fire and water go together, but not when it involves grease. That's going to, send those flames shooting up. It puts you in danger, and it puts that fire. That fire is going to spread through, whatever's above that stove. So your kitchen, cupboards, the wall, and so on. So really dangerous.
Briana, we're just about out of time. Great tips. Any tips for me to not burn the turkey this year?
Again, stay in the kitchen. Have someone there watching. And then just in case you do burn the turkey, make sure you have working smoke and carbon monoxide alarms in your house. They give us the time that you need to get out. In the case of a home fire, we only have 2 minutes to get out. So we need to make sure we have those working alarms so we have the time to escape.
Briana, I appreciate it, and our thanks to you and to all the firefighters within HRFE for the fantastic work that you all do every year, and I know that many will be working over the holidays, and I always say that I sleep sounder knowing that you folks are on the duty. Thanks, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Have a great holiday season.
That's Briana MacLellan. She is public education with Halifax Fire an emergency. We're going to stop. Blake's going to update us on the news. When we come back, we're going to switch gears here to get a little bit of reaction to yesterday's announcement of an almost 18% increase in water rates. We talked to him last week, and we're going to follow it up with him with the Director of Rental Housing Providers in Nova Scotia, Kevin Russell, will be our guest. You're listening to The Todd Veinotte Show. I'm Dan Alstrand. We're back in minutes. Welcome back to the Todd Veinotte Show on our final edition of 2025. And we, of course, are going to have a conversation with Santa in the next hour. We're going to have a conversation with our weather meteorologist, the newly minted Allister Aalders, and all of the letters after his name. We're going to have him join the show. And just having some fun with him. And he's going to give us a look at the Christmas forecast. And it looks like maybe for those of you that are looking for that picture on Christmas Day, you know the one? You might have to wait a little bit, but you might be able to get snow in the background that you didn't import and use the AI to bring onto it. So we'll get the very latest from Allister, and he'll be joining us here very shortly. But first, a little bit of news to take care of. We were kind of anticipating this last week when the regulator told Halifax Water to come back. Their rate hike was too high, to go back and look at the numbers again and present a lower increase. And lo and behold, we have seen that. The regulator announcing yesterday, I guess the utility in a press release announcing yesterday that they're going to join us, give us an increase next year, but not near as much as was in the original document. Now we're looking at 12.1% in January, and then April 26th, another 5.5%. So 17.6 is the number, but which is much lower than 36%, but is still pretty high for most of us that use water each and every day. And from a household perspective, I know you can understand what that increase means for your water bill, right? You can calculate that pretty easy. But if you're a landlord, and particularly a landlord with more than a couple of apartments, this is still going to be a rather large increase. And we know some of the struggles that landlords are having these days, dealing with increasing input costs and a rent cap that prevents them from charging that back to their tenants. We talked to our next guest last week when this was at 36%, but the now almost, I guess 18 is probably the best way to say that, is on the table, and we're very pleased to welcome back to the program today to give us his perspective on what this means moving forward is Kevin Russell, the Executive Director of the Rental Housing Providers of Nova Scotia. Kevin, how are you?
Dan, it's a good day. Thank you for having me on. There's
a couple of facets to this story, right? The first off, obviously, is that 18% is still a big pill for people to swallow. But the other side of this equation is that we often hear the saying that you can't fight City Hall, but this is an instance where we did, and it seems to have worked at least a bit.
Yeah, the rates did come down, and, we thought they would be, given the instructions that they were given by the regulator. But, 18.3% compounded rate increase is still a rate shock. It is high. And given the times they're in, and everybody's talking about affordability, this is an increase that will impact renters and homeowners, and it's still high. And not mentioned in the media release, or at least I didn't see it, is that Halifax Water is going back in September 2026 to apply for another increase.
Right.
So this is problematic, and it's going to continue to rise until somebody steps in and figures out what's going on at Halifax Water. I firmly believe they shouldn't be entitled to another rate increase until a third party does an investigation to actually tell us what's going on at Halifax Water.
Kevin, the mayor of Halifax has asked the city's auditor and the province's auditors general to investigate the governance and internal workings of Halifax Water. I assume that you support that.
Yes, we do, because it was very clear at the hearings that the interveners were focusing on the issues of internal issues of Halifax Water, and they were quite problematic. So let's clear the air and start with a clean slate and by an independent third party to tell us what's going on.
Kevin, from a landlord perspective, when even with this lower rate, obviously it certainly wasn't the sticker shock that we saw last time, but as you said, still very high. This is a cost that every landlord has to deal with, right?
Correct. There's no getting out of it. I mean, there's water is essential. It's and it's needed, and there's no way of getting around it. I mean, most of our members and have taken conservation remedies over the past couple of years, low floor toilets and shower heads and what, but it's still going to add a cost that's not going to be fully recoverable. And
obviously, when we think of landlords, I mean, I'm looking out the window, and I know we've talked about this before. These large, huge buildings, but there are many landlords in Nova Scotia that have less than 4 units or 4 or 5 units, and are unable to pass this cost along. What does that mean to their bottom line, Kevin? If you see an 18% increase in a utility rate, and you're only able to cap an increase on your tenant at 5%, does that obviously hits the bottom line of the landlord?
Yes, because and that's just taking water in isolation. But when you add all the other hits that are occurring to rental housing providers, it's substantial and it's compounded year over year. So, and I've mentioned this before, and is that many of these smaller family-managed operations are becoming financially unsustainable, and you'll see those probably end up selling, and they will disappear from the rental market as the new owners who purchase the properties will take ownership and move their families and into the unit, displacing the existing tenants.
Kevin, we know that rent cap is in place until December 31st of 2027, so we've got all of 26 and all of 27. What does this mean if we see this 18% increase in water this year, plus another application in 26? We know that the power rates they want to go up by a bunch. What do you think this is going to do to the rental market in Nova Scotia over the next 2 years?
Well, it would certainly make it an investment that people would have to take a second thought to. I mean, when you think about this, you're coming into a market that's a high risk, high expenses, and you have, on the other hand, you have a rent cap that doesn't allow you to cover your costs. So, capital has no borders. It will flow to other investments that are more safer and less risky than what the rental market is right now in Nova Scotia.
Kevin, what's the next step here with these water rates? Are you will there be another hearing? Are you going to appeal? What's next?
Well, once the regulator gives their final decision, that's it. It's written. And so there's not much we can do with the rates. We have sent a letter to the board as we can respond to the compliance filing that Halifax Water has filed, and we're expressing our frustration and our at the rate, and if there's anything else that can be done.
Kevin, I appreciate you joining us on short notice. Have a good holiday, and I'm sure we'll chat in 26.
Yeah, Dan, thank you very much. Can I just add one more thing?
Sure.
Just before we wrap up? I'd like to take a moment to give a shout out to and a sincere thank you to the industry's frontline workers, including property managers, resident managers, building superintendents, and maintenance personnel who continue working or remain on call 24/7 throughout the holidays to keep residents safe, buildings well maintained, and emergency addressed. These people are truly the backbone of our industry, and their dedication and hard work often goes unrecognized. So I just wanted to recognize them here and say thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
That's Kevin Russell will, of course, stay on top of the water issue as we learn more and as we look for a decision from the provincial regulator. When we come back, what are we looking at in the weather for the next couple of days? Many of you are going to be traveling today and tomorrow and through the holidays. The very latest. He's got all of the new data and is going to give us the updated forecast when we come back. Our meteorologist Allister Aalders is next. DJ Vanessa, who's is running the tunes today, tells me that this selection is called Jingle Through the Snow, Allister. So
I've also been informed she's DJ V.
Oh, is it DJ V? Is that what it is?
So.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
But hey, I kind of like this music. It's,
There you go. Well, we have to have a little bit of fun.
Exactly.
We've been well stocked today with all kinds of cookies and chocolates. So this show normally runs on caffeine and anger. Today it's running on chocolate, sugar, and whatever else is getting delivered today. Yeah, no
Fatigue.
doubt. A little bit of all three.
Everything,
all the above. Anyway, Allister, I'm glad you're able to stop by today.
Yeah, great to be here.
And we have to obviously set the record straight because on Friday, under intense pressure from me, you made a decision on what you thought was going to happen with the White Christmas. And then when we made that prediction, and then literally a few minutes later, the guidance all changed and that got updated.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't bet anything.
Right.
And it's quite funny how, right up until we were on, it was really looking like we would be seeing snow today. I was like, I don't know if I would be making the trek in today in the weather. And then Friday night and Saturday, the guidance really started to back off. And that system that was supposed to move in is still out there, brushing some very light flurries and a bit of light snow into extreme western New Brunswick and southwestern Nova Scotia today. But the guidance just finally caught on to, they weren't, buying what it was initially selling, and then corrected themselves and placed the system farther west with a stronger blocking high. So it's absorbing into an offshore low that's going to bring a snowstorm to Newfoundland, much of Newfoundland on Christmas Day. But it's just a bit of a cold gray day here in Halifax. So like I said, I'm glad I didn't bet anything on it. Now, for some, it will be a white Christmas because this cold has helped drive some onshore snow squalls in the north and east this week. And I mean, if we want to start, bending the definition of a white Christmas and start breaking the rules, I mean, we could probably get away with it and saying that we might have a white Christmas after all with the snow in the forecast tomorrow.
Yes, but there is a meteorological definition for white Christmas.
Yes,
and
there is.
We won't match that criteria when we wake up tomorrow.
No. So there needs to be at least 2 centimeters of snow on the ground at 7 a.m. on Christmas morning. And given that the snow that is coming in, very light snow, some flurries for some of us, likely won't begin until late morning, early afternoon for the Halifax area. We're not going to officially meet that criteria, but for the afternoon and evening, periods of snow expected amounting to possibly 5 centimeters. So eventually there could be about, the equivalent we need on the ground, just not when we need it at 7 a.m. for that official definition. But I think many will take it because I think a lot of people will be done their travel plans by then, hopefully settled in for at least Christmas Day or Christmas Day night, and maybe we'll welcome a bit of snow. But obviously, this is a busy travel time for a lot of people, whether if you're not traveling, it's fine, but a lot of people are hitting the roads today, so I think a lot of people are happy that we're not getting that snow today, and perhaps we'll take it for tomorrow, Christmas Day, instead. And I should note that there will be more onshore snow squalls off north-facing coastlines, so through the valley into the southwest, across the North Shore and Cape Breton, Thursday night and Boxing Day Friday, possibly even into Saturday for some. So that means additional accumulations for them higher than, our 2 to 5. They could see upwards or in excess of 10 centimeters, certainly by Friday or Friday night. So if you do have travel plans anytime during that period, but especially Boxing Day into the weekend, just keep in mind those snow squalls are going to be blowing in off those north-facing coastlines beginning again Thursday night, continuing through Friday and possibly even into Saturday. But here in Halifax, we get off fairly easy with just a chance of a few flurries drifting in for Boxing Day Friday, and just a very slight chance on Saturday with more sun in the mix, but just remaining cool.
Last couple of mornings have been less than cool. They've been
cold,
frigid,
very chilly,
and we're not looking at any kind of a warm up right through the weekend.
No, I mean, if we want a piece of good news, by Sunday, I'm forecasting a high of -2. So that's an improvement from the guaranteed high of about -5 today. But it's really not looking like until early next week when we do see a warm up, but that likely comes with a system rolling in with a bit of messy weather. So we are certainly into this Christmas deep freeze, if you will. The normal high for this time of year in Halifax is +1, so we are well below where we should be for this time of year. The normal nighttime low is about -8, so our nights have been cooler too.
It was -14 this morning.
Very, very cold. And of course, that's not factoring in the wind. Which is, making it feel, into the high -teens, even for some into the -20s. So very chilly weather, which will be, as you mentioned, persisting through the upcoming Christmas period. Tomorrow -4, -5 on Boxing Day Friday, and then Saturday -4. -2 by Sunday, and then a bit warmer into early next week, but likely with some weather.
How about the winds? Because the wind chill is a thing.
So the winds will actually start to subside. In fact, even with the snow coming through tomorrow, I do think the winds will be light. So if you're kind of looking, you alluded to that kind of Christmas picture, or that postcard picture where perhaps, late tomorrow afternoon and into the evening, it'll probably be very peaceful with just a very light snow falling because the winds will be light. They will continue to gust today from the northeast up to 40, but then the winds do become northerly and then lighter as we go throughout the night tonight, and they're fairly light on Christmas Day, but then they do start to pick back up Friday and into Saturday, helping to drive those onshore snow squalls in the north and east.
Once we get through the weekend, of course, there a lot of people are off, Allister, and I know it's still several days away, but there are plenty of outdoor activities planned for the 31st for New Year's Eve. What's the long-term prognosis for that?
Well, I hesitate to go quite that far into advance, just, given that the time frame. But
right.
At this point in time, it's looking fairly quiet with a chance of some flurries possibly around on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day period. Temperatures likely a bit warmer than what we're seeing now, with likely more of a west or southwest wind helping to bring in some warmer air. But at this time, looking quiet. So hopefully that will hold out because, obviously, as you mentioned, a lot of people are off. A lot of people taking advantage of that time off to perhaps go to the ski hill or, to the Oval downtown.
I hear they've been making snow.
To the water. Yes, it's been great weather for snowmaking.
Right.
And for some, especially say up in northern Cape Breton, they've been getting the natural snow that they've wanted and need, in addition to the man-made snow that they're making up there because it's so cold. I mean, I believe they're already open, so it's off to a pretty good start for some of those ski hills. I know the milder fluctuations we've had have been a bit challenging for them, which is often the case, but I'm sure that many of them are likely prepared with at least some runs open for the holidays, because obviously skiing is a big activity between Christmas and New Year's.
And there may be skis under the tree this year for some, right?
Never know.
With the temperature where it's at tonight and tomorrow, Allister, that snow tomorrow afternoon into the evening, a good chance to try out the new snow blowers and the new shovels this year that you get.
Yes, because it will be the light fluffy
stuff,
not the
heart attack snow.
The heart attack back-breaking snow, where it's going to be so cold. This is going to be very light, fluffy snow that you can just brush right off. So I think that's welcome news for many. And it's not a lot of snow either for us here in Halifax, likely 2 to upwards of 5 centimeters.
Allister, thank you very much for all that you do for us here at the radio station and on this show throughout the year. I know you've had an incredibly busy 2025, and now that your education is behind you and you got those letters, as I say, behind your name, I'm hoping that we'll see you more here on the program and keep everybody up to date on what's going on with the weather.
Yes, it's been great, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of our listeners. Thank you very much.
Santa Claus is coming.
I've heard.
He's going to join us here on the program.
Wonder if I can get any last-minute requests in.
I don't know if Santa would be keen to you jumping the line, but
I should probably get in the phone line like everyone else. Wait my turn.
You never know. He might ask you what the forecast is because he likes the last-minute weather stuff.
And he needs to know what he's going to be encountering flying into the region
and
tonight.
To put the wheels on the sleigh for landing in our part of the world.
Exactly.
Alistair, Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas, Stan. Thank you.
That is Allister Aalders. You can hear his forecasts both morning and afternoon here on 95.7 News Radio. And, of course, he stops by usually on Fridays to do his weekend wrap-up. But, of course, we're doing things a bit early. And I promise in the new year, he's been ready for a couple weeks. I promise in the new year we'll go over the weather events of 2025 that stuck out for Allister. That'll be part of the first week of January, I hope. We're going to stop. Blake's going to update us on what's going on in the news, and on the other side of it, Allister's been looking forward to it. DJ V, as she's calling herself today, has been looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to it. I hope you've been looking forward to it as well. We're going to work some Vanessa magic, and she's going to connect up with Santa Claus himself, who is currently out delivering gifts. I'm just taking a quick look, and he's somewhere over China. That sounds like a song, doesn't it? And he's gonna stop for a few minutes and have a conversation with us. If you want to talk to Santa, if you want to get a last minute request in, if you want to find out what side of the list you're on, or maybe you have some kids or maybe the grandkids that are home that have their faces buried in their phones, or they're driving you bonkers as the anticipation for the fun and frivolity of Christmas is getting the best of them. Here's an opportunity for them to join the show. Love to hear from the younger audience today. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Santa is next. Welcome back. This is the Christmas Eve edition of the Todd Veinotte Show. I'm Dan Ahlstrand, and as you can imagine, connecting up with our next guest is not an easy task, particularly on his busiest day of the year. But Vanessa Van Den Esch, who does outstanding work on this program day in and day out, is truly a magician when it comes to getting the guest. I give her many guests throughout the year, my wish list. And some of them, I have to admit, are far-flung, and I know will be difficult for her to do, but I will tell you that she is a miracle worker when it comes to these things. So a couple of months ago, I thought, hey, you know what? Christmas Eve is on a Wednesday this year, and, we're going to do a show. So I just wonder if we could grab a minute or two with Santa Claus himself and have him join the show. So Vanessa went to work, and she made some calls, pulled in some favors, bent some arms, and did what she did. So you can imagine that you just can't literally pick up a phone and call Santa because he's traveling, right? And if anybody who's traveled knows that even if you have an international calling plan, and I'm sure Santa has the top line one, it can get sketchy depending on where you are. So she's got all kinds of patch cords and dial-in numbers and all kinds of things in the studio today, and she's working her magic to make this happen. So here we go. All right, we're going to try and see if this is working. So Vanessa tells me I have to push this button here. I have to pull this cable here. Nope, there, and then I push this button and this slider, and I think, Santa, are you there?
Oh, Dan, you did it. I had zero faith that you could do all the buttons
Santa.
in the right order.
Jeez. Wow.
But you did it.
Tough crowd.
I'm having fun, Dan. It's my work day.
It is. You work one day a year, and you're spending some time with us. That's pretty cool.
Only because of Vanessa. She's so sweet And, I don't want to say what she may or may not have said to the elves, but they pleaded, and I said, fine, I'll spend some time with Dan.
All right, Santa. So I guess we'll start with Vanessa. I don't think we have to look very far down the nice list to make sure she's right at the top of it, right?
Right at the top, and a long list of things. I don't want to say she was shooting for the stars, but it's a long, long list.
Well, she's fantastic, and I hope that you stick a little something extra into her stocking this year.
The elves made something just for her, and I hope she likes it. I don't even know what it is. They wouldn't let me see.
Oh, wow. It's secret. Santa,
Yeah.
we're going to try and take some calls here, so we're going to try and work all of the tech end of things here. And while Vanessa's busy as an elf working on that stuff here on the other end, I'm going to ask you, hey, where are you right now?
You know what? I'm over an ocean. I just left China.
Okay. So you're on this gap and you're over the water, so you got a chance to talk to us.
Yes, perfect timing, Dan. Your timing is impeccable as always.
Okay, folks, Santa obviously is busy, so we're going to try and keep him on the line as long as the technology works and before he gets too busy. So 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. If you'd like to have a chat with Santa, maybe get a last-minute request in for your Christmas list or maybe find out where you are on the naughty or nice list, here is your opportunity. And I'll tell you what, there isn't anywhere else you're going to be able to do that today. 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. Santa, I got to ask the question. There was some, there may have been some misinformation about my year. Some suggesting that I'm on the nice list, some suggesting I'm on the well, maybe list, and some are suggesting that I'm on the naughty list. I got to go right to the source. Where do I sit this year?
Well, Dan, it was close. It was close. You did bounce back and forth, one list to the other. But knowing that you're a Cleveland Browns fan, I had to put you on the nice list. You don't need any more hardship in your life.
Well, Santa, thank you very much. I truly appreciate that. Look, the Browns finally did something good for me.
Yes, it's the only thing they'll do good for you, but it worked in your favor. I was just I felt so sorry for you. I tried to get you a coach, a quarterback, but it didn't work.
If Santa can't fix them, then what's wrong? Oh, my goodness, right?
Yeah, it's hopeless. I talked to everybody about it. The Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, none of us have the power.
902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Here's our first phone call. The technology has failed us. Vanessa, I pulled the wrong cable, so we're going to have to connect back up with Santa. And we're going to have Addie is on the line. We're going to keep Addie there so that we don't lose that. But Vanessa, see, I knew I was going to break something. It's just the way that it goes these days. We're going to reconnect up with Santa Claus here momentarily. There I go. I'm off the nice list now, right? I'm going to be onto the naughty list after pushing that button the wrong way. It's not the regular phones, folks. It's just what we have. And I think I'm going to do this and this. Santa, I'm sorry. Are you there?
I am. I don't know whose fault that was. Rudolph started blinking his nose, and sometimes that interferes with signal.
I think it was probably my fault, but we'll blame the reindeer. Santa, Say hello to Addie. Addie, hello.
Hello, Addie.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Are you excited for me to come visit for Christmas?
Yeah.
What's on your list, Addie?
Well, we just got some kitty cats here.
Oh, you have kitty cats, so I'll have to leave some treats for the kitty cats then.
Yeah.
Then are you leaving cookies for me?
We all actually, but it's a little good here.
Yes, oh my.
Okay. Or why don't you ask Santa?
Ask Santa, whatever.
And we just got a kitty cat right before I think to give him tea.
Tracker cat?
Yeah. What are you asking for from Santa?
You tell him.
Well, Santa, I
Hi,
think
Mom.
Addie. Hello. What are you asking for Christmas, Addie? What was in your letter? Well, I think Santa, just to remind you, she's asking for some Play-Doh and some Paw Patrol vehicles.
Oh, the Paw Patrol. I saw those being loaded, I think. I mean, I don't want to ruin a surprise, but, the elves are very busy, and I was half paying attention. But I got that letter. I remember the Play-Doh because that's one of Santa's favorites. I love Play-Doh.
That's so fun. Do you want to tell Santa anything else?
No, that's everything.
That's everything. Do you want to say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
Addie.
Christmas, Addie.
Thank you for
Thanks so
calling.
much.
Make sure you go to
Merry
bed early for
Christmas.
Mom and Dad tonight.
Yes, please.
Just don't be awake when I get there. If I see that you're awake, I'll come back later, but go to bed.
Awesome. Congratulations, Addie. You got the first call with Santa. Hey, Santa, can you stick around for a little bit?
Of course, Dan, for you, anything.
All right, we're going to go back to the phone lines after we take a break here. Santa Claus is with us as long as the technology will hold out. And if you have maybe a request like Addie had, here's an opportunity to do that. The number is 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. Oh, how cute, right? We're back after the break. Welcome back to the Todd Veinotte Show special Christmas Eve edition, and through the miracle of modern technology, a conversation with the jolly old elf himself, Santa Claus, who's somewhere in the ocean not in the ocean, over the ocean of China. We hope we're not in the ocean, Santa.
No, I'm dry as a bone.
There you
Don't
go.
worry.
Santa's graciously giving up some of his flying time, his downtime as he's moving between place and place to join us here and to talk to the kids, young and old, of the Todd Veinotte Show audience. And we're very glad that you're able to do that, Santa. Let's take a couple more calls here before we lose you here. Let's welcome Trey and Mari to the show. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Santa.
Hi. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Am I on the naughty list or nice list?
I didn't quite get that one. What was that again? Sorry.
Say it again. Am I on the naughty list or the nice list?
Oh, well, let me check. A nice list for sure.
Oh, Murray, you're on the nice list, buddy.
Murray on the nice list, most definitely. I wanted to make sure, didn't want to lead you down the wrong path.
A gold Porsche.
A gold Porsche.
Yes,
A gold Porsche.
Yes.
That's a tall order. The elves don't really work with minerals very well, but I'll ask and see if the drone can drop it off.
Thank you.
Here's my brother.
Here's my brother.
Okay, there you go, Trey.
Hello, Santa.
Hello.
It's Trey. It's Trey.
Hey, Trey. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Tell him what you wanted to ask him.
Am I on the nice list or the naughty list or on the medium list?
Oh, Trey. I saw that name earlier. Oh, you made the nice list by a hair, Trey. It has like a little star beside it, like just squeaked in, but you're on the nice list.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank you, Santa.
And tell him what you asked.
You're welcome. Thank the accountant elves. They do all the tallying. I go by their work.
And also I have another one.
Okay.
One more.
I would like for Christmas for extra present a Rubik's Cube set.
A Rubik's Cube set. Oh, okay. Again, I don't know if the elves loaded that. I'll send a message through. We've got red tooth, not Bluetooth, because Rudolph's nose. We named it after that. I'll send a message through and see. I'll check with the elves, and you check under the tree, and we'll see if that message gets through.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank you, Santa. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, two nice boys, Dan.
Yes, nice boys. And see, you can get on that list. See, Trey's like me. He just kind of squeaked in, right?
Yeah, well, you were like a pity ad.
Jeez. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
You know, like the Elves, again, the Browns fan thing, it pushed you over the edge.
Santa, I have to ask a question for all of my my Maple Leaf fans out there. Can Santa do something to convince them to start winning hockey games?
Again, Dan, you ask these things that are just beyond even magical powers.
Oh, goodness.
You know, it's you remember a few years ago they almost made the finals and they had a parade?
Right.
They do that again.
Oh, Santa. I had to ask.
Sorry.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't. Santa, we've got another caller here. We're going to see if we can connect up with. Let's see that button there, and we are going to welcome Penelope to the show. Penelope, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Penelope. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Santa.
Thank you, Penelope. Are you excited for tonight?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Excellent. What can Santa help you with?
Well, there's only really 2 or 3 things that I want for Christmas. So the first thing I want are some books, and I also want some 3D printed dragons.
Oh, dragons. Interesting choice. Books and Now, are the books about dragons too?
They could be about anything.
Oh, you just like to read. That's very good, Penelope.
How are the reindeer?
They're good. I have like dried carrots I throw them as we fly so that they keep their energy up because I'm covering a lot of ground in a short period of time and they get tired. I get cookies, they get nothing. So I throw them the dried carrots. They love it. So if you leave out some carrots for them, that would be great. They love it.
Okay.
They'll appreciate that, Penelope, because you are high on the nice list. So I do believe you'll leave some carrots for the reindeer.
I always leave some for the reindeer.
Yeah, that's why you're so high on the nice list, Penelope. You are way up near the top. You could teach old Dan a lesson or two.
One question, Santa.
Sure.
Well, there's going to be a snowstorm here, so I think that it might be a little harder to fly.
You know what? The reindeer love the snow. They actually fly better in the snow.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, don't even worry about the weather. Santa's seen it all over the years, and the reindeer know how to get me through safely. So don't worry about that. Santa will make it.
That's good.
Yes, I appreciate your concern, though, and thank you for giving me the heads up. I'll let the reindeer know that they should be prepared for the snow.
Thanks, Santa. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Penelope. And as I said earlier, make sure you go to bed early so that Santa can get there and get all this stuff done. Santa, we're almost up against the break. I know you're extremely busy, but we've got a couple of calls on the line. Can you perhaps bend the rules a little bit and stick around for us after the news at 11:30?
Of course I can. No problem, Dan.
Well,
I'm magical.
Santa, you are the absolute best, and I'm not just saying that to butter you up.
You're trying hard to get more on that. No, I can tell, Dan. I can see through these days.
I know. Well, you can't harm a guy for trying, right?
Not at all.
Okay, we're gonna put Santa on hold, and he's gonna go and drop some gifts off to some kids over in the other side of the world, and then he's going to give the reindeer some of those dried carrots he was talking about, and will be joining us again after the update on the news. There's lots of lines open, folks. If you have some little ones at home or you want to ask Santa a question, 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. This is the most fun hour I've had all year, and I hope it continues after the break. You're listening to the Todd Veinotte Show's special Christmas Eve edition, and we will be back right after the break. It is the special Christmas Eve edition of the Todd Veinotte Show. I'm Dan Alstrand, and we are doing something a little bit different here. If you're just joining the program, we have, through the magic of technology and lots of hard work on the behalf of DJ V, as we're calling her today, that, of course, being Vanessa Vandenez. She has managed to get the guest of the year, I think, and waited to the last show of the year to do that. She has managed to get Santa Claus to join us here, and we've been having a conversation with Santa for the last 30 minutes, and he is currently doing his thing. It's his busiest day of the year, but has agreed to stick around for a few more minutes. Santa, are you there?
Oh, I'm still here. I was sipping on some eggnog.
Oh, you got any for me? That's my favorite drink. You know that.
Dan, you just keep asking and asking for things. They're worse than the children.
Oh, come on now, Santa. I haven't been that bad all year, right?
No, that's true. You've been a good boy.
902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Can you tell we're having some fun today? Anyway, 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. If you would like to talk to Santa, or perhaps have some youngsters kicking around like we've had for the last 30 minutes that want to have a conversation with Santa before they get ready for their long winter's nap, here's an opportunity to do that. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Very quickly, Santa, before we get to our next caller, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask the tough questions. So you were perusing that list of naughty versus nice, and I'm wondering if some of the leaders in our province and in our city are on that list. And I'm looking down the street here at Province House and Premier Tim Houston. Where does Premier Houston sit on that list?
Oh, Dan, you're trying to get me in trouble. Let me look the list. You know, Mr. Houston, he also squeaked onto the nice list. He was close, but he squeaked onto the nice list this year.
How about Mayor Fillmore?
Well, it's funny you ask. I have a letter from council that says he's on the naughty list.
Uh-oh.
But we kind of threw him on the... We're very generous at the North Pole. You know, we put you on the nice list. We put Houston on the nice... We're going to put Mr. Fillmore on the nice list, too. Oh. Everybody deserves a little something at the holiday season.
I'm sure that Mayor Fillmore, who's listening today, is quite relieved that it won't be a lump of coal in the stocking this year.
Well, I mean, he might get that and some other gifts. See, that's how I do it. Kind of let you know you just squeaked by. There's the coal and there's your gift. It was a close decision, so you get both.
All right. Split decision, as they would say in the sporting world, right?
Exactly. Yes, tie goes to the runner, as they say.
902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Let's welcome Joseph to the show. Joseph, I understand you're a big kid.
Yeah, I all grown now, Santa.
Oh, my goodness, Joseph. I remember when you were knee-high to a hockey stick.
Yes.
And now you're all grown up, and you've got questions for Santa.
Yeah, can you help me out? I'm just trying to help somebody out that normally calls in on the show there. But the last 4 or 5 times somebody had to call in and correct them. Now, there is a book out there, I do believe, Santa, that's all about taxes from our Nova Scotia end, right?
I would assume so. Santa's not great at math.
But in the meantime, can you help me, Santa, to get a book together and send it to this person there so he can, educate himself, and that way there he can do a better job on the show when he gets on?
I can try. I will. I'll red tooth that back to the elves. See if they can find a copy or make one up in the workshop, and get it rounded out to me.
Yeah, they might have one of them books for dummies. They got one out for dummy books for raising dogs. Anything under the sun, they got a book like that. Can you see in your archive there if we can get one sent to my friend there so he can be educated, sir?
I'll do my best on that one. Santa never makes any promises because really the elves do the work, but Santa will try.
I understand, Santa, and I give you all my best wishes and at the studio there.
Well, I'm over Indonesia right now.
Oh, great. But in the meantime, you're doing a good job.
Thank you. I'm doing my best, and I'll see if I can get that book for your nameless friend.
I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure he'll be happy with it.
Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate that, sir.
Thank you. Have a day now.
902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Who's next on the list here, Santa? Let's see if we can connect up with Ashton. Ashton, how are you?
Good.
Hey, what's your question for Santa?
I don't know.
Merry Christmas, Ashton. How are you doing?
Good.
That's good. Have you been good this year? I mean, I have the list, but what do you think?
I don't know.
Most of the time.
I see an Ashton on the nice list, so I'm going to assume it's you. You sound like a nice little boy.
Ashton's getting a little stage fright. Ashton, what do you want for Christmas from Santa?
A voodoo.
Oh, I don't know if that's in the sleigh, but I'll text the elves, red tooth them, and see, and we'll see what Santa can do for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Say thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ashton. Go to bed early so I can get there, and leave some cookies out for me, please. Santa gets very hungry.
Okay.
Thanks, Ashton, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Ashton.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Okay. Thank you for calling. 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. Santa, you're a popular guest today. We've got another call for you. Here is Olivia. Olivia, how are you?
Good.
What's your question for Santa?
I knew my friend Olivia would call.
Tell me you're sending your elf back tonight.
I'm sending my elf back tonight.
Oh, that is good. Santa's glad to hear that.
I'm going to ask if we're going to have a white Christmas.
Are we going to have a white Christmas?
Santa, as much power as I have over time and space, don't have much power over the weather, but I heard Allister, who's a good friend of Santa's, he said there'll be some snow tomorrow. So maybe not in the morning, but maybe later in the day, according to my good friend Allister, we should have some snow. You want some snow for Christmas, I take it?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Well, it looks like, according to Allister, your Christmas wish will come true. You'll have some snow in the afternoon.
You can tell him Alistair's mom takes care of you.
Alistair's mom takes care of me.
That peach tree.
Oh, so you and I are both friends with Alice. There we go. Look how small the world is.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for
Merry
calling,
Christmas,
Olivia.
Olivia.
Thank you, Santa.
You're welcome. Thanks, Mom. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Santa, I know you're extremely busy, so we appreciate you spending a little extra time with us today. I know you've got millions of gifts to give out, and we wish you a safe journey, and we hope that your GPS has has Halifax plugged into it, and you don't miss this?
No way I could miss it. It's plugged in. I just hooked a hard right to Singapore, so things sloshed around in the sleigh a little bit, but I'll be good, and I will see all the boys and girls and all the good kids in Halifax. Well, I won't see them. They need to be asleep, but I will be stopping by later on tonight.
Santa, I appreciate the time. Again, safe flying, and hopefully we'll chat next year.
That sounds like a good idea to me, Dan. And maybe you won't squeak on the nice licks next year. Maybe you can just make it.
It gives me a goal to work towards, right?
It's always important to have a goal.
Santa, thank you and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Dan. Merry Christmas, Vanessa. Merry Christmas to all.
And to all the good nights. Thanks, Santa Claus. Wow. That was fun, wasn't it? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break here, and then we're going to disconnect Santa's equipment and get back to what we would normally do here on the program, and that, of course, is our year-ending open hour. I'd like to hear today some Christmas greetings. If you'd like to send some Christmas greetings out to people that are listening, to perhaps a long-distance dedication, as I called it earlier, to steal that vernacular from Casey Kasem, here's an opportunity to do that as well. And maybe if you'd like to perhaps wish a Christmas greeting to those that are no longer with us, this is an opportunity to do that. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. We're back after the break. Fun, wasn't it? Thanks again to Santa Claus for stopping by and making some of our listeners' Children's Day. That was a lot of fun. I could tell that the kids were into it, and Mom and Dad were into it too. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. It is the open hour, folks. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Regular rules apply, of course, but we're being festive today, and this is would be a great opportunity for you to call the program and wish the best of the season. Merry Christmas, season's greetings to friends and family if they're listening, or maybe they're not. But let's not forget, this lives in perpetuity in a podcast. You can join us to tell us that. Maybe you want to share your favorite Christmas movies. It's funny. Just to give you a little bit of inside baseball here, but when you're doing this show on a daily basis, it's there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes, and I know I talk about her all the time, but Vanessa certainly lightens up my workload here. But there's a lot of preparation. You try and stay on top of things and try and to get the guests of the newsmakers that are of the day, and it's sometimes you get into a routine, right? You start to, it's just, okay, Monday I got to do this, I need this, we need this many guests for Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and then you start to work away, and then of course once you book a show, then you have to do the preparation, you have to do the reading and do all that stuff. So I often say it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours of preparation for every hour that we're on the air. So you can imagine that it's a busy week when we start doing these things, and with this being the special edition and bringing on our special guest earlier in the hour. We had a chance to pause here earlier, and Vanessa kind of turned to me and she said, Dan, that this is the last show, and you've got at least 4 days off in a row, and of course going to do some work in the newsroom over the holidays. But so I was sitting there, wow, I do. What am I going to do, right? There's a lot of things obviously I can do around the house and those kind of things, but to truly disconnect. There's nothing better than curling up with a mug of eggnog and some Christmas treats and watching a Christmas movie. So I'm curious. I know that Nicole, I think, called us up yesterday and said that her Christmas traditions. We talked Christmas traditions yesterday, and she said that her Christmas tradition is going back to watch the old TV shows and the old movies. And she said she had some on VHS, and that the commercials are the best part of the whole thing. which be interesting, but I'm interested in what your go-to is when you want to waste, I shouldn't say waste, when you want to disconnect for an hour or two and watch a Christmas program, be it a television show or a movie, what is the number one at the top of your list? And, of course, the internal or the eternal debate about Die Hard, if that's a Christmas movie or not. I think it's a Christmas movie, but that's normally the one that I watch. But I've got a number of slots open on the list this year, so I'm looking for your thoughts on what to watch and what you watch as part of your Christmas as we move forward. And again, as I mentioned, an opportunity for you to provide your thoughts on Christmas greetings, and an opportunity for you to send a shout out to friends and family, or the person that's working today and through the holidays, as one of our earlier guests said, that there are some unsung heroes out there that work throughout the entire holiday. I'm thinking of first responders, our police, our paramedics, our firefighters. There are people that are working at the local gas station. There are people that are working in the service industry right through the holidays, and sometimes go without recognition. So if I'm to start off the shout-outs, that's where I'm going to go to that. It's easy for us to say, well, I'm off, I don't have to do anything. But there are people out there that, particularly in the service industry, that are going to be working through much of the holiday just to ensure that we are able to take our time off. Christmas television, Christmas movies is a wanted tradition for many people. And Vanessa Van Inez is of course one of the people that is one of those snuggle in a blanket on the couch people, and will be plunking down in front of the television, and perhaps with she's not an eggnog fan, so it might be something more adult.
Yes, more like mulled wine or something. We'll see. And
I'm still a kid, so I'm in the eggnog with the nutmeg on the top. But Vanessa, what's on the top of your Christmas movie list?
I usually, that's a good question. Charlie Brown's Christmas is one of them. I really like that one.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. There's just so many to watch.
Right.
I watch The Holiday every year.
The Holiday?
Yeah, the one with Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz, when they swap houses during the holidays. And it's just a cute romantic comedy.
There you go. See, that's not one that's on my list.
No.
Romantic comedies and Dan normally are like oil and water.
Mm-hmm.
But
and Home Alone.
Well, yeah, Christmas classic, of course.
Yes, of course.
Right? One of mine, I mentioned it yesterday, is the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, I like that one too.
Because Michael Caine, in my opinion, is the very best Scrooge to grace the screen, given the medium that he was working with.
Yes.
Right? Like, it's obviously there's people that are going to disagree with that, and they have their favorite Ebenezer Scrooge, but to pull off the performance that he did with puppets, or I should say Muppets, is something else. Anyway, so if that's something you want to bring to the table, that's something we can do as well. We're going to continue the open hour right through the top of the clock. Christmas greetings, Christmas movies. It's a festive Christmas Eve edition of the Todd Veinotte Show. I'm Dan Aalders. We're going to take a break for the news. We're back after the update. Welcome back. I like the whistling. Glad you're able to spend some of your Christmas Eve with us. Maybe you're in the car going to get that last-minute shopping done. We heard earlier one of our guests was ready to do that after the shift today. Hello to you if you're in the office or you're at the workplace and you're wrapping things up for Christmas. I would imagine that many places have shut down now that it's noon. And just a heads up, that retail there's a bunch of different closing times today. Different places are doing different things. So if you are a last minute shopper and you are heading out, you might want to either check the website or give them a call ahead of time to make sure they're going to be open, because wouldn't that be terrible if you had that one gift that you had to get and you went there and the store was already closed. So just a heads up, that maybe has happened to me in the past. that I'm speaking from experience or not. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. It is the festive edition of the Todd Veinotte Show. This is the open hour. Lots of things to talk about when we throw open those telephone lines, and they are open right now. We talked yesterday about Christmas traditions. I shared some of my crazy Scandinavian traditions that we do, and I got a couple of emails from y'all that were asking questions about things. It's yes, it is cod, and yes, it is dried in the sun, and yes, it's cured with the stuff that we put on dead people, or we used to put on dead people. Lie. And yes, the mouthfeel is that of gelatin, if it's boiled. And that is lutefisk. I explained yesterday that that's what we normally eat, but it's very difficult to find now, as you can imagine, outside of areas that have a strong Scandinavian population. So I went out yesterday, and lo and behold, couldn't find any. So I had to substitute with lobster. That's terrible, isn't it? They're in the fridge right now, and they're going to get cooked up tonight. And I got a big bag of Prince Edward Island blue mussels, and those are going to get steamed up tonight. And then we're going to have a feast at my house and watch a Christmas movie. And Vanessa gave us some of her ideas, something I'd not heard of before. I got an email from Nora up in Fredericton, who I'll say hello to, and she said Christmas with the Cranks is a good one. I think the Prime Minister used that as part of his welcoming of Mr. Ma when he crossed the floor. Didn't he say that it's better to spend Christmas with us than Christmas with the Cranks? Just saying. Anyway, that is something you might want to talk about if you want to send Christmas greetings out to friends and family. Here's an opportunity to do that as well. If you want to just say to perhaps send a laurel to somebody that has gone above and beyond for the Christmas season, here's a chance to do that. It's wide open, folks. That's what the beauty of the open hour is. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Hello, Parker.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Let me just start off by saying Merry Christmas to all of you guys at the station. I hope you guys have a great holiday.
Thank you.
I wanted to start off by saying my tradition in my family ever since I was a kid, it's kind of a weird one, but every single year I ask for the exact same thing. I ask for a 1994 Mazda RX-7. Never get it. Sometimes I get a dinky car.
Right.
Sometimes my parents do some funny things to make me feel like I got it. Never end up getting it.
Right.
That being said, I also wanted to shout out my parents this year and tell them I love them and thank you for everything they do to help me out. For me and my family, I also want to shout out my two amazing, beautiful kids. Jarrell Jr., I love you, buddy, and I'm proud of you. And also my little baby girl, Kalea, I love you as well, baby. Merry Christmas. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow morning. Happy holidays to everyone listening, and Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Parker. I appreciate it, sir. That 97 RX-7 will be getting tougher and tougher to get every year, right? The same kind of thing happened to me, and I know Vanessa has shared this with me as well, that when you get older, the Christmas list tends to get a little bit more expanded and maybe a little more expensive. And I remember asking my partner a few years back, this is even before I moved to Halifax, that I had a truck on the road that was maybe in a little of disrepair, and I said, boy, I'd like to have a new truck for Christmas, and I did. I ended up getting a dinky car that I kept on my stove in my kitchen for many years until I finally got a new truck, and then I said it was time for it to be replaced. The dinky car, by the way, much cheaper than the truck that I got. Anyway, got an email from Michael, says we'd like to send our father, Jack Vardy, a happy 84th birthday. That is from Beverly, Jill, and Michael, and all of the extended family. December 1941, Jack was born. So happy birthday to you. I have some of my family that are born this week, and I often ask them if they kind of feel ripped off, right? As a kid, if you're born a couple of days before Christmas, then do you still get birthday presents, and do you still get Christmas presents, and does one suffer because of the other? Right, being an October baby myself, that was never a problem. But I do know that some of my extended family tell me that growing up when you were, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there there was some concern about the volume of the gift giving, I will say. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Hello, Jerry.
Oh, hi, Todd. Hi, Dan.
What's on your mind, Jerry?
Hello?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's Gary.
Oh, sorry,
it's
Gary.
Gary.
My mistake. Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to wish you and your staff a very Merry Christmas, and thinking about Todd, hope he's doing well, and warm thoughts to him, and also warm thoughts to past call-ins.
Right.
Kate Britton, Mike, and Todd, Bill Mont, and Tony.
Yes.
Warm thoughts to their family. I know it's a great loss to them, and I certainly was associated with Bill, and is a big loss to the community because he was really great in working with the community and doing things all of his life.
For sure.
Anyway, have a Merry Christmas, Dan, and to your family and all, and all the best in the new year. And thank you for all the call-ins and the interviews that you've given the ACE team. That's for long-term care. That's a blessing. It's yours is the only outlet that really is thinking about community, and we appreciate it.
Well, Gary, I appreciate that. Have a Merry Christmas and the best in 26.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, and have a good year.
I'll do my very best. Thank you, Jerry, and I will echo that. It was a tough end of the year for this program with the loss of those three stalwart callers to the program. Of course, I'm referring to Tony, and I'm referring to Kate, Brett, and Michael, and of course Mr. Mont, who has been or was a proponent of talk radio for many, many years. Steve Murphy would tell me stories about the old days when he was working across the street and would take calls from Mr. Mont, and that man was so connected to the community. He really cared about the community that he lived in, and boy, he would get involved in a lot of projects and really love Christmas time. So my thoughts to Bill's family and to Michael's family and to Tony's family. I know that it's got to be a tough time this year around, and we hope that the Christmas season brings a smile to your face. We're going to stop and take a break. The open hour continues on the other side. You're listening to the Todd Veinotte Show, special Christmas Eve edition. We're back after the break. Kind of felt like Vanessa had to give the elves a little motivation with a boot to the backside to get them moving there. But Christmas music to kick off our Christmas edition of the Todd Veinotte Show. This is our last show of the year, folks. We're going to be shutting down so that we can get the place clean, really, and then we'll be back on the 5th of January. So we're going to, of course, still be some of our best ofs and some encores that will fill our regular time slots. Very much like the Rob Snow. If you're a Rob Snow Show fan, you know that he's been off all week. He'll be off all next week as well. So we'll do our best to fill the void, but we will be back on the 5th of January, fully rested and recharged and ready to go and take on the issues of the day and the newsmakers of the day. So I hope that you can join us after your holiday break. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. The open hour will continue right through to the top of the clock. This is your chance to maybe send a birthday. Well, maybe it is a birthday wish. We already had one today. Maybe a Christmas wish to friends and family afar. Maybe you want to shower some love on somebody that maybe was extremely helpful during the Christmas rush. Because, hey, I have the deepest respect for those that work in the retail industry this time, all year round, but this time of the year particularly, because nerves are a little frayed when you get into those stores, and let's not forget that they're human beings too, right? So, and I know that many of them are working today and trying to get their Christmas and organized while keeping the lights on at their stores. So, a special shout out to the retail workers, and it's almost over. Right, this is always the busiest time of the year, and let's not forget, folks, that after today and everything shuts down, and then we have closed stores on the 25th and the 26th here for the most part in Nova Scotia. There will be some places that are open on Boxing Day, but that 27th, I know many of you have that date circled on your calendar with a big red marker because of the Boxing Day sales. This has become very much like Black Friday, right? That it used to be that it was a Boxing Day sale and it was a one-day thing, and just like Black Friday used to be a one-day thing, and now I was getting Boxing Week flyers at the beginning of last week, so it's now no longer a day, it's a week, and I will challenge you that perhaps some of the savings in the flyers are not as steep as they once were. But nonetheless, it will be a busy time. I know people are going to, this is the annual pilgrimage back to the stores for the returns, right? And, you get that gift and you have that, thank you. And then they get the receipt and off you go and return it because it doesn't fit or whatever. But it's a busy time of the year. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Let's take another call. David, how are you?
Hi, Dan. Yeah, doing pretty good. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
I got a few less well-known film recommendations for you.
Sure.
So, for a Christmas classic from 1945, I could recommend Christmas in Connecticut. It's a very sort of sweet film, but I also like it because it's kind of a Christmas culinary film where sort of cooking and recipes and very, because it's 1945, old-fashioned recipes are kind of front and center. So, me being a cook, that's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
For modern classics, One Magic Christmas and Prancer are both great films. If you're of a certain age, you probably would have grown up with One Magic Christmas, sort of on CBC or CTV around this time of year, and it sort of also has a strong Canadian connection, funded by Telefilm and stuff like that, but with a great Hollywood cast. But just sort of like, very sort of Canadian in the sense that it's kind of a little darker, a little grittier and stuff like that. Prancer is just such a wonderful, beautiful, and especially just well-made film. And, for some modern films, just not well-known, they both happen to be Nick Cage films by coincidence, but I enjoy Trapped in Paradise and Family Man. They're just sort of, both great films, fun films, and probably less well-known. So, I could definitely recommend that. Trapped in Paradise, I believe, was written by Frank Pesch, who's a guy who sort of played a lot of, tough gangster types, New York gangster types in films, but was actually obviously a very sensitive man because he wrote a couple, really nice Christmas films and sort of starred in films in sort of other capacities as well, too. So, those would be my recommendations for anyone looking for something different.
David, working in the kitchens, I imagine you're working over the holidays?
No, fortunately, get a bit of time off, actually. It's sort of, the run up to the holidays is definitely very busy, but, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, all that kind of thing, not much going on. And then there's just not really much point opening for a day or two and then sort of shutting down for New Year's as well, too. So it's, it works out pretty well for me. So I always look forward to this time of year, just slowing down a bit, kind of pottering around the house, getting a few things done that I wouldn't otherwise do. So, my project today is actually I'm going to work on a Sony Betamax video cassette recorder.
Wow, now you're dating yourself there.
I know, I'm proud of it too. But unfortunately, I don't have any Christmas films on Betamax, but plenty on VHS, so I'm set that way.
All right, David. Man. Thank you, man. Have a good Christmas.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.
902-405-6000, 1-877-780. Do you remember the fight? Do you remember the battle? And I know there's a segment of you who are going, what are you talking about, Alstrand? But I am of the same vintage, I think, as David. And I remember when home video came out, and it was the battle of the mainstream was VHS versus Betamax, right? And that was a thing for several years. There was other options, video discs and those kind of things, but Betamax, the VHS ended up winning, by the way, and that became the standard for many years until we replaced the tapes and the and those types of media, I guess is the word, with streaming services, right? That was, you remember Blockbuster? Boy, do I remember Blockbuster. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Hello, Nicole.
Hello, Dan. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm well. What's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to call and kind of wrap up the year and thank you and Vanessa and the rest of the team for offering this beautiful platform, which I think maybe not enough people appreciate to the extent that they should. I think in a social media world where we're so used to things being on the screen and in type, it's really nice to be able to have a platform like this where we can interact as a community and hear tone and have conversation and open discourse. And it's been a beautiful 2025 for that, and I'm looking forward to some of the conversations that we're going to have on here in 2026. And I just wanted to say thank you. And also, just an observation that I've had today as I was out shopping and just over the past few days is that I also want to recognize that it's a festive time of year, and it's a time for all of us to come together with family if we're fortunate enough to have that. But I've also recognized that a lot of people are really burnt out.
I hear you.
And as someone who has gone through clinical burnout, and I've had my body shut down and had to work really hard to rebuild my kind of physical constitution. If I can offer any suggestions and something that I wish I had someone say to me in 2016, 2017 when I was really feeling the burn, is that a really aggressive deep breath can save your life in a lot of situations. Like if you can just take that really heavy deep breath into your belly, feel it as deeply as you can and just let it out, it can save you in so many social situations, and even in moments alone when silence can be a little noisier than a crowd of people. And if you can find that deep breath when you need it, and find it again if you need it in the moment after, it's the gift that you can give yourself, and it's the gift that will keep on giving. And with the flash of the holidays and the hustle and bustle, sometimes it's helpful to remember just to be able to come back into your body, take a deep breath, know that everything's going to be okay, and that the sun's going to rise tomorrow.
It will.
We don't always think of that. So
great advice, Nicole. I appreciate you joining us as often as you do, and look forward to our conversations in 26.
Beautiful, Dan. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. You all don't get to see it an awful lot, but there's that deep breath therapy that Nicole is talking about happens quite frequently here on this program. It's not been prescribed to me by anybody in the medical community, but it comes to me from a Jimmy Buffett song of all places, where the lyric reads, "Breathe in, breathe out, move on." All right, about 30 minutes left in our Christmas Eve final show of 2025. Glad you're able to spend some time with us. The lines are wide open, folks, if you want to join the conversation on the open hour, 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. A couple of emails. This one comes to us from Ken, and it reads, "Behind every great man's a greater woman." And thank God Vanessa's nearby, Dan, he writes. This is unsolicited, Vanessa. I didn't write this. "Your show is my constant companion every morning while I work on my digital arts and photography. A Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Many thanks for the outstanding service that you provide to the HRM community." That comes to us from Kenmo. As for a Christmas suggestion, a movie suggestion, I know I'd said that my top Scrooge was Michael Caine in The Muppets Christmas Carol. This emailer disagrees and writes, Merry Christmas to you, Vanessa and Todd. I watch a Christmas Carol Dickens 1951 version every year on Christmas Eve, and all the best. And that comes to us from Lee, who also writes that he has been a long-time Average Joe listener of the program and also misses longtime callers Tony, Bill, and Kate, Brett, and Michael. And their calls are missed, and I will agree with that. So there is those suggestions. 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. That is the number. Many of you, I'm surprised it didn't come up because there are like a Wonderful Life, right? That one is a big one in our house, and we've watched it every year. And my joke around my house is that It's a Wonderful Life. The ending never changes, right? It's always the same. It happens every year, but it is one of those tearjerkers that gets on the TV in my house every year as well. And let's not forget that there are some sporting events that we get to watch. The World Juniors are beginning on Boxing Day. Team Canada looking to go for gold and take on the world. That is a Christmas tradition for many of you out there. That it's not Christmas until that Boxing Day game, and of course there's that traditional Team Canada game on New Year's Eve. Usually it's against the United States. I haven't looked at the schedule this year, but there's that game as well. And locally, our Halifax Mooseheads are off until the 28th, but we also have a bit of a hockey tradition here in Nova Scotia, and that is the end of the year home series with Cape Breton. We are hosting the game on the 30th here at Scotiabank Centre. And then the Herd will jump on the bus and head up to Cape Breton to Center 200, and they'll face those Eagles for the New Year's Eve game. That one's going to happen at 2 o'clock. And as always, and throughout the entire holiday and into the new year, you'll catch all the Mooseheads action live right here on our station. And you'll be able to hear live from the ice with Gareth McDonald, who I know is listening today. And I'd like to send our best wishes for the season to Gareth and to Colson, our producer, and to Gareth's family, who lend him to us throughout the hockey season. Boy, that guy travels. Anyway, you can catch all the action live right here. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. Hello, Dave.
Yes, hello, Dan. Thank you for taking my call. You know what I have to say?
Sure.
Humbug. Humbug. I'm just kidding, of course. You know, I'm blessed with a remarkable family, East Coast and West Coast now, as we migrated our way east and made a family here. Family is, above all, to me, a Christmas, especially the little ones,
right?
Where you have, now I have grandkids, and not great-grandkids, but they are great-grandkids to some, and how you weave your family together, hold together. There's no perfect family.
No.
And that to me is the most utmost thing. And it saddens me that there are some folks out there that aren't surrounded by the love of a family.
Right.
And that's so important in our society. It really is. So, but to you and Vanessa and your team, a very Merry Christmas. Looks like we might have a bit of a white Christmas tomorrow, from my understanding.
Yeah,
maybe
in the
afternoon.
It won't be Christmas morning, but it will be in the afternoon. Allister was on earlier and said we'll likely get somewhere 2 to 5 centimeters by mid-afternoon into the evening.
Right, and then you got Newfoundland in the Avalon Peninsula. I
Right.
think you're going to get hammered with a blizzard.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. That's why those folks are so tough up
They
there.
are absolutely tough
I think
people.
They really are. So all the best to you and your listeners. And again, having that platform, like your last caller, Nicole, I think she said, absolutely. It's just wonderful to have this platform to, do our little rants and what have you. But not this time for me. I'm just saying family is so important, and enjoy it. Enjoy the chaos, right? And cheers to that. Really, it's a wonderful time in that sense. And you know what, Dan? I've got kids now that are hosting Christmas and tonight at their place in Sackville, both bought homes recently. So we're off the hook now. We do help out, of course. So
you
and
just get to go and sit on the couch and be merry.
No, because I got slammed to be the designated driver, so it's going to be alcohol-free, unfortunately. Fair. But that's fine. I'll stay up to the wee hours, whatever, and do that type thing.
Well,
so,
I hope Santa finds you, Dave, and thanks for all the calls this year, and we'll talk to you next year.
I am Santa. Thank you.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. I don't think I can say anything else that Dave didn't there. Family is an important time of the year. Let's not forget that there are people that Christmas isn't necessarily the most wonderful time of the year for them, be it that they've lost loved ones or they're struggling, and our thoughts go out to them. And to those of you that have family in far-flung places, much like I do, much like Vanessa does, we of course are brought together by the wonderance of technology these days. I spend more time at this time of the year on the video apps, the FaceTimes of the world, than any other time of the. And we're lucky that we're able to do that now, right? And we can connect up with them. And I will be busy for the next couple of days on the FaceTime dealing with my family. And there really is no perfect family out there, right? And Dave's descriptor, I think, is appropriate, calling Christmas with a large family with multi generations chaos, because it really is, right? You do your very best. I looked forward to it. I really did. Not seeing my siblings for an extended period of time, and you know what I'm talking about, right? You get together and everybody's in a joyous mood, and then you're sitting around the fireplace after, and then the dynamic that is family happens, right? It happens to everybody. It's part of the fun. It's part of the chaos, as Dave calls it. And I know that many of us look forward to that. Taking our last break here on the Todd Veinotte Show before the top of the hour. Still a couple of lines open if you want to get in very quickly. 902-405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. We are back after the break. 405-6000, 1-877-801-8255. We're almost done, folks, for another year, and we've heard her a couple of times during the broadcast today, and I think it's appropriate that we bring her in here near the end, and that is, of course, the one and only Vanessa Vandenez, folks.
You need to give me a minute. I was eating a cookie.
That's the thing around here, right? And I imagine many workplaces are like that. We're well stocked out there, I will say.
We are.
There's cookies and chocolates and all kinds of treats, and some from listeners and some from everybody here in the staff, and I promise you they won't go to waste.
Not in this studio.
No, everybody's kind of already saying, geez, it's only 12 and I'm already stuffed. I got to eat dinner tonight, right? Mm-hmm. So Vanessa, of course, is the producer of this program, and she does all the real work, right? I just sit here and talk. She does all the stuff. So you have, of course, a quiet Christmas this time around, but you're going to do like I said we're going to do and connect up with you. You have family all over the world.
I do, yes, I do. So my parents are in Portugal this year for the holidays, so I do want to wish them a Merry Christmas. And
I know your dad's an avid listener of the program.
Very much an avid listener. I don't know if he's listening today, but if he is, Merry Christmas, and I will call you in an hour.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because the distances are the time change.
Zones, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So we need to get that done very early, and then and Merry Christmas to my younger sister and her husband, who are in Florida. So I will call them later. And I'm going to be spending time with my twin sister on FaceTime for most of the night.
Yeah, you're going to kind of connect up and have a tech Christmas.
Yes, we are. So we decided that we were going to make the exact same things for dinner. We were going to cook at the same time and just spend time with each other. And then we are going to screen share our computer, and we're going to watch the movies at the same time.
Cool. Mm-hmm. My family, much like Vanessa, is not quite as internationally spread out, but are spread out all over the country. I have a sister that is in Manitoba, and she is going to be hostess to, of course, my brother-in-law. He doesn't have a choice. But to my niece and my nephew has a brand new couple of month old baby this year. So my sister is over the moon excited about Christmas. And I want to wish them, my sister Candace and Derek and her kids and her grandkids, the very best of the holiday season. My dad is home this year. This is the first time for many years that he's been home. He used to be a snowbird, is no longer, and I think you can figure out why. But he's going to be spending some time in my hometown of Thunder Bay with my my stepmom, of course, and my older brother and my younger brother and our extended family. They're going to do the Christmas Eve thing tonight that I described earlier, and then Christmas Day. There's stuff going on, and they've got dinners planned all the way through to the 27th. There could be turkey eaten with my family from tomorrow right up until, I think, New Year's. There's a dinner every night. So if you like turkey, that's what they're set up for. But I just wanted to send them a big shout-out. I want to also send a shout-out to all the crew here at 95.7 News Radio. They work hard, folks. We are a small and a mighty team, and they put in a shift, I will say, each and every year. And they're, of course, some are heading away to Ontario. Others have family around here that they're going to be spending time with. Others have family in Prince Edward Island that they're going to spend time with. So it really is an international community that makes up this radio station, at least with our extended families. Vanessa, you had your Christmas shopping done in like November.
I
right?
did. Yes.
So
I'm going to be so relaxed in the next 15 minutes.
all right.
It's going to be great.
Everybody's eyes keep moving up to the top of the clock because at 1 o'clock we're done, right? So
yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you very much for everything that you do here each and every day.
Thank you.
We can't do the show without you. So I don't
thank
want to
you.
get too
And can
darn
I
soppy.
actually,
Sure.
can I say Merry Christmas to my kids?
Sure.
They're going to be away this Christmas, but we're going to be doing one on the 27th, so I'm really excited.
So Vanessa's getting like 2 Christmases this year.
I am.
So there you go. It never really stops. Christmas is that time of year, of course, where we get together with friends and family. But I just want to very quickly, folks, I know we talked about this yesterday, and I saw a news release earlier today about a tragic accident that happened in Dartmouth in September. And that appears, at least to this point, the allegation is it was the result of impaired driving. We know that it is tradition here to get together with our friends and our family. We know it's tradition to get out and enjoy the Christmas season with the coworkers and with those that are close to us. And sometimes that involves a little of the Christmas festive stuff. But there are so many options out there now that are available to you to not have to make that decision, right? If you're out, there's taxis. It's easy. There's an app for that. There's ride sharing. It's easy. There's an app for that. And there's a new ride sharing service. There's 3 of them now. So some of the concerns of the past, I think, are starting to become more alleviated with more cars on the road. You don't have to wait as long. But folks, just take advantage of it. Get out of the car, get into a taxi, get into an Uber or a Lyft or a U-Ride, and get home safe. If you jump in a car after you've had too many, chances are you're going to get caught. I know that the police are stepping up their enforcement this year, and chances are you're going to get caught, and that's going to hit you financially. That's going to hurt you with your insurance company. Might even affect your employment. But worse, you could get into an accident and kill yourself, or even worse, kill somebody else. The days of I'm okay. It's just so easy now to avoid that situation that I urge you, with the utmost of urging that I can put out there, to make the right decision and not drink and drive. Don't drive stoned. And get home safe, and that way we won't have any tragedies to talk about when we come back onto the 5th of January. It's really easy. Even for a technophobe like me, I figured it out. It's a couple of clicks and you're done. And a nice warm car, a nice ride home, and you don't have to worry about all of that. Going to wrap things up here. I want to send my thanks to our boss, to Amber LeBlanc in Toronto, who lets us do what we do here every day, and to Rogers Radio for continuing to give us this platform. Without them supporting us, we wouldn't be able to do this, and we would lose this valuable tool, this valuable asset for the community. I want to thank again my crew here at 95.7 News Radio for all they do every year and keeping me sane. Or make me a little insane. I'm not really sure how that works. Again, thanks to Vanessa Van Inez for all that she does. And more importantly, thanks to you, our listeners. Without you, we just wouldn't be here. To all the guests over the year that picked up that phone and dialed the numbers and joined the conversation, I truly appreciate that. It would be awful boring without you. And most definitely to all of you that on day in and day out pick up the telephone, dial the numbers, and join the open hours. You send me emails. You send me phone calls. I truly appreciate it. I really learn something here each and every day that I sit down behind the desk. I'm going to wrap things up here with something that a good friend of mine, the late Les Studley, used to do on his final broadcast when he was doing the Wildcat games for us out in Moncton. I think it appropriate to pick up Mr. Studley's tradition, and I'll leave you with this. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday objects below, when to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment that's gotta be St. Nick. With more rapid than eagles his coursers they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, on Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. Then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. I drew in my head and was turning around. Down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot. His clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back. He looked like a peddler, just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and a beard on his chin was as white as the snow. A stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of the eye, a twist of the head soon gave me that I know there was nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all of our stockings, and then turned with a jerk, laying his finger on the side of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, the team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."